It's, is it Friday? Saturday?
Yes, Saturday.
Well, God knows there's so many other things you could have done on a Saturday night in Canberra. So thank you for making it. We could have all gone to Nando's. Again. Now, I've been here before, and the way I worked it was I came, and then the next day I left. But you have a different angle on the whole thing. You're still here. And I've been in Australia for a while now, about nearly 2 months, and I've been trying to understand Australian politics. I really have. And I haven't done that well. All I really understand about Julia Gillard is that, apart from the fact that everybody hates her, is that when she walks into a room, she keeps on coming into the room. Because she does this. And it's quite sinister. It feels like she's going to crawl up your arse. And, you know, I mean, you know what you think. I know a lot of people are saying she should go and all that stuff. And, I mean, who else have you got? There's Mr. Abbott, who's probably in a church right now playing that all the gay black people die. But you've got some stellar figures out there. Craig Thompson's a very impressive character. I loved his excuses, you know, when he got nabbed for the whole, I don't know how he would call it so incredibly subtle, this whole scheme of paying for prostitutes with his credit card. I don't know how. His excuses were fantastic. They were wonderful male excuses. You see, with most things in life, women are in charge of life and events, and men are in charge of death and excuses. His excuse, years ago, he used the same excuse, all men use really, whenever they're in a fix. Years ago, I was out with my wife and a friend, and this is, you know, many years ago now, we were all drunk. And it was late at night, it was raining and it was wet. So we went into a late night coffee shop place to warm up, and we were all, because we were all drunk, we came out, and I was sort of disappointed that the rain was still wet. So I said, look, I'm just going to go back in and get another coffee, okay, I'll be right back. But when I was in there, I thought I'll sneak another sandwich as well, because the other one was delicious, because I was shit-faced. And I thought I'll eat it very quickly. But of course, it took me 5, 10, 15 minutes went by, and I was still going. And then my wife's face appeared in the window because I left her outside in the rain. She was very angry, and she marched into the shop, and I knew I had to come up with an excuse quickly. And the best I could manage under pressure was to say, "I'm not me." That's pretty much Craig Thompson's excuse, isn't it? It's not all men use. See, the thing is, I'm not me, I don't know me. I'm not responsible for this. But you know where you are on the political spectrum. I mean, there's only so many particular positions you can occupy, and really, in the end, you're left or you're right, you know? And if you're left-wing, you're boring and everybody hates you. Because you're the voice of responsibility, you're the voice of conscience, you're the parent in the school trip. Everybody hates you. Because you're the one going around saying, now, put it down. Let's all be nice to one another. Let's not eat everything today. You're no fun, in short. The right wing is obviously more fun to hang around with. Yes, they're cruel, yes, they're vicious, but they're much more honest, and their philosophy is very simple. Their philosophy is to go, what is this? Do we fuck it or eat it? Let's try half and half. That was submissive and yummy. What's next? Now, you might be one of those thoughtful, troublesome people, of course. You might be a little green person. Little green people. People say, mind the fishes and the monkey. Be nice to the planet. Let's make our own clothes out of body fluids. Nobody listens to these people. They're so irritating. Even though everything they say about the world is correct. Of course it is. You know, there's other people out there complaining about carbon tax and all the rest of it. Saying everything will be fine, don't worry about it, we'll just use coal for everything. It'll be fine. She'll be right. Yeah, no problem. We got another planet somewhere, it's fine. You can phone up now, they ship new ones in. Of course the green people are correct, but they're so irritating. That's why nobody listens to them. They're the vegan at the dinner table of life. People will come to your house. People will come to your house and say, I'm hungry. And you think, okay, I'll get you something to eat. Hang on a second. And they go, I'm a vegan. You go, fuck it, here's a torch. Go into the garden and save it. I can't deal with you people. They're full of lies anyway. Here's to talk such rubbish.
You get everything you need from lentils and pulses and leaves and things like that.
Everything you need except company. Which is not to be had, because when you're dying, bent double in a miasma of your own toxic farts, nobody will come and help you. Nobody will appear over the hill with a pickaxe to break up your green cloud. Meat might be murdered, but tofu is fucking fraud, that's for sure. So you know what you think. The point is, a lot of you are young people out in Canberra. Well, I mean, they're the ones who go out. Everybody else is too scared because of the pub fights and everything, but I still have lots of young people out there drinking coffee. Because the only other thing to do in the town is have a pub fight. And no, look, I'm being mean, but on purpose to provoke you. I'm actually really grateful to be here in this metropolis. I had to come from Sydney, that's a fucking dead town. I mean, I've been everywhere. I've been to places you don't go. I've been to Perth. No, you fucking haven't. Or maybe once on a school trip. To make you appreciate how lucky you are here. Do you know what they have in Perth, do you? They don't have nothing. They're on a waiting list for nothing. I just looked over that and then they sent me to fucking Adelaide. I mean, we got to miss Perth. I was in Perth for 5 days. It was like being trapped in an endless French film with no plot. Wandering around muttering to myself, why? You can't hear your own voice because the crowd's coming towards you saying, why? I went to Townsville, for fuck's sake. Watching the little children on the street there peeling off and eating bits of their own face. 5 lanes of backed up traffic on the Suicide Bridge. We're very lucky here with all the coffee bars and art galleries and beautiful roundabouts. The thing is, a lot of people around the country here, this is the, you have the bureaucracy and the parliament here and so on. Other people are losing faith in the political systems all around the world. Not just here. People are losing faith in all kinds of systems. Back in Europe, before I started touring, I was watching the Australian news and all the terrible disastrous weather you were having, and I'm thinking, oh my God, look at this, it's awful. Because I know the place a little bit now. And when all that happened, when the floods in Queensland and so on happened, everybody came together. And they worked together to rebuild what they'd lost. And then I got here, and I was watching the news in Britain. And everybody was setting each other's houses on fire. They were pissed off. You Australians have a problem, and they come together and they work through it. In Britain, they go, let's get some tellies. It's a really nice pair of trainers, and then set the other man next door line. Very different attitude. Now, partly, you know that your whole system is a byproduct of the British Empire. What? You have an alternative version of Australian history? That's what it is. Now, when I've been living in Britain for about a dozen years now or more, when I come here, it reminds me of Ireland because you don't have a class system, not an explicit one anyway. And it was the same in Ireland. When I was growing up, we didn't have a class system. We couldn't afford one. It was just everybody, and then 4 people over there who had big houses, and you didn't know them. But the British, right in the Empire days, because Britain was an empire, as you know, at one time, Britain ruled the waves before it became a permanently moored prison boat full of the disaffected. They had an empire, and they thought they had to have a class system. That's what they told themselves. So, the types are recognizable as the aristocrats, the people with 4 sets of teeth, You can't understand what they're saying. The house smells of wet spaniel. And there's the upper middle, those the aristocrats have all the fun with the surnames because they're called things like Mr. Trasores, Bletchley, Putington, and so on. And then there's the upper middle class who have all the fun with their first name because the child is christened or baptised and it's never known by that name afterwards. It's only ever called a nickname. Jonty or Nain or Nom or Bing or Bong or Titface, whatever it is. Bong, get Titface out of the tree, we're going skiing again for no reason whatsoever. They like to pursue dangerous activities because the rest of their lives are so comfortable. You know, why would any rational person want to go skiing? Why would you want to do that? I understand it's popular near here. Why would you want to do that when you could sit in the comfort of your own kitchen with the radio on and break your knees with a hammer? Why do you want to If you're poor, you don't go looking for danger because you're surrounded by danger. Your accommodation is dangerous, your neighbours are dangerous. Your own family's pretty handy, you probably have a couple of moves yourself. And your dinner can fucking kill you anyway. But they had a class system. And you talk about Balkans, they talk about chavs. Okay? People who are poor people who don't have much access to education. And I was in Heathrow Airport not that long ago. There was a young woman outside the airport and she was on a mobile phone. Now, this young woman would have been called a chav. It's a kind of pathetic playground word, really. But she was on a mobile phone, she was talking to she was a very big young woman, she was fat. She was fat in a way people used not to be. You have to be of a certain age to know what I'm talking about. I'm overweight, a lot of people are overweight. Time was people were overweight, and you knew that if they skipped a couple of dinners and did some running around, they would go back to their natural shape. Not this young woman. This is third generation shit food fat. The fat wasn't going anywhere without dynamite, okay? She was on the phone and she looked like a congregation of spheres, and she was on the phone to her pal, and she was saying, I've never been to drunk in my life. I had like 11 pints of cider and Tom kept getting me vodka smoothies or something. I was fucking destroyed. I woke up this morning, it's taken me 2 goes of food. What is a goal of food? What is that? Is that when you're coming through a window? What happens? I've had a McDonald's for breakfast and I've just had a Burger King for dinner. Now, I related to this young woman because we are all trying to control the chariot of our appetites at all times. And her voice stuck in my mind because at the other end of that, I heard another voice from the British class system, somebody who would have been called a toff. It was this actress who I've been working with. She was a very pretentious person. She's one of those British voices full of birds. And she had a lot of time on her hands because everything reminded her of something else. She would say things like, oh, these potatoes, they're fabulous, aren't they? They're just like my friend Roger. Oh. Roger Rogerson, do you know him? He lives in Rogeroni in Italy. Italy's fabulous, isn't it? Of course, it's full of Italians, and you'd fuck one, but you wouldn't talk to her afterwards. And then, this salad, it's like my girlhood, bewilderingly full of lychees. And, pretentious. Because she wasn't comfortable with where she was. She wants to be further up on the social scale. We live in very socially competitive times, you know? I don't know if you must notice it around here. You must have, what's the name of the posh suburb here? Is it Manukau? Or is that somewhere in Hawaii? What's it called?
Maui.
Monaco. Oh, that is posh. That's very posh. I didn't realize it was so near. I mean, it's a waste of time, but people need to put their faith in something, some sort of system, and if you don't believe in politics, where do you go? Most people don't believe in religion anymore. Most of the people in this room won't believe in religion. People got over that, didn't they? The idea that you do good and then you die and God gives you a biscuit. People got over that idea. You have your universities here, no doubt science is a big thing in there, because it's all about science now. You know, quarks and atoms and googles and things. The only problem with that, we all say this is what it's all about. The only problem is that most of us don't understand it. So it's no different to having a faith. But then you got that program, The Wonders of the Universe, did you see that? It was for people? Okay, but it's a British program, and it was on here, I know it was on here, because I looked at it. And it was huge in Britain. It was presented by this guy, he's quite good looking, he's a physicist. And what happened in Britain was that a lot of women became very interested in the universe all of a sudden. Because he's from the north of England, and he would come on and he would go, look!